What's up, YouTube? Liberty here, coming at you with a deck profile. This one is of my second all-time favorite deck, under Cyber Dragons, because Rockets are just really fun. I have an extra deck, it's over here. My Cyber Dragons will always be my favorite deck. Rockets will always be my second favorite deck because I like guns and I like puns. And these guys are named after gun puns and stuff to do with the guns. So that they like hold a special place in my heart for that. Anyway, without any more talking, I'm trying not to make this a 10-15 minute video. Let's get into it. And before I start, I apologize for the weird camera angle, and I apologize for this orange blob over here. My phone is legitimately just in a deck box because I don't have a stand for my phone yet. I can't really. Yeah, it's hard to record videos. But I'm trying to make do until I can get a phone stand or something. Anyway, first, and as I get to these guys, I'll explain the gun puns best my ability. The first guy is Rocket Tracer. Rocket Tracer is the best rocket of the deck because he's one of the two I call weird rockets. Him and Rocket Synchron, because unlike the other rockets, they don't. If Rocket Tracer or Rocket Synchron, sorry, are destroyed by battle or card effect, they don't do what a normal rocket monster would and replace themselves on the end phase by summoning another rocket from the deck. But that's fine because what they lack that way, they make up for and with really good effects. Rocket Tracer in particular, you get to pop a face-up card you control, summon a rocket from the deck. He's really good. Another rocket we play 3 of course, is Magna Rocket. Oh, and before I forget, he's a Tracer Bullet. Like I think heat-seeking Tracer Bullet kind of thing. Magna Rocket is like a 22 Magnum. Anyway, this guy is the start of what I call the normal rockets. When he's targeted by a Link monster, he destroys himself, and when he does that, he gets an effect. That effect is send one monster on the field to the grave. Doesn't target and doesn't destroy. It's just, I don't want this bore load here anymore. Bye. I'm not saying my bore load, my opponent's bore load, of course. I'll leave mine there as long as I can. Anyway, he's really good. And then when he is destroyed by battle or card effect, he replaces himself, just like this guy. The Silver Rocket Dragon. Silver Rocket is like a silver bullet. You ever watched any old werewolf movies? The thing that kills a werewolf is a silver bullet. And Silver Rocket Dragon kind of gives me flashbacks to Yang Jing True King Dino, because like Lithosagem before him, but Lithosagem did it better. That's because he would banish 3. Silver Rocket only banishes 1 card from your opponent's extra deck, and all you have to do is target him with a Link monster. He's not that hard to proc off, yet he's kind of hard to proc off. Your hand has to be just right to do it. And half the time, mine are. Anyway, Silver Rocket, really good card. Auto Rocket Dragon sends a spell or trap on field to the grave if targeted by a Link. And yeah, they're really good. And another thing to note with one of the monsters I get in here, I'll tell you about in a minute, he becomes like a really big wall. It's kind of funny. And the next rocket is Metal Rocket Dragon. I'm going to play 1 of it because it destroys all your opponent's cards in the column it's in if it's targeted by a Link. Like, I always use the rightmost zone when I use the Link monster, so I'll put him over here on the left, that way when they summon, right here I can target it with whatever Link I got and tell that entire column to go to the graveyard because I don't want to see you anymore. And you got the one Shell Rocket, which does that, but a little worse and better at the same time. Instead of destroying all the cards my opponent controls in the column when he's targeted by a Link, he destroys a monster, or sends a monster from you can destroy the card, then destroy 1 monster in its column, and then if I do that, destroy any monsters in the adjacent zones. So like if let's say he's the monster getting destroyed, and I have like a Magna Rocket and a Metal Rocket in the zones next to him, they would also get destroyed. But it'd be my opponent's monsters, not mine. And then the Great Wall of Anastrokket. Anastrokket Dragon. It's the last of the rockets that I play that are normal rockets. You know, the ones that destroy themselves when they're targeted by a link and replace themselves on the end phase when they're destroyed. He makes a monster unable to attack, period. Not till the end of the turn, not for that battle phase, it's just until that monster goes away and comes back, it's not allowed to attack. So, semi-late game and your opponent has a Boral Sword or a Boral Load and they're about to try to take one of your monsters, you can target your Anastrokket with a Boral Load, and Anastrokket will just make that Boral Load unable to attack. He doesn't target at all, which is amazing. And then if you have Boot Sector Launch on the field, he gains an extra 300 attack and defense, so he goes from a 0-22 to a 300-2500, and he's the Great Wall of Anastrokket. You don't mess with Anastrokket Dragon. And then the last rocket is, of course, the Rocket Synchron. When he's normal summoned, he summons a level 5 or higher dragon. He targets a level 5 or higher dragon and summons it, which the rockets are fun. I wouldn't change anything to do with these, because the rockets are like solid as I think in the deck right now. Because I have recorded this video 10 or 15 times today, and I've told this story 10 or 15 times, so I think I've already told it. If not, I went to a friend's house, and we were playtesting our decks, and it was me, him, and like 2 or 3 other people. Or I think it was just 2 other people, because there was the 4 of us playing duels at the same time. I basically went undefeated. The only thing I ever lost were games. I never lost matches. But I didn't have a side deck. Nobody had a side deck. We took 15 cards that we couldn't find room for in the decks and put them in what we called our maybe put this in later, our side deck kind of thing. And I had hand traps in here. At one point in time, I had 6 of them. And I couldn't stand to have all 6 of them in there because they were breaking my hands. Like, I would draw multiple Ash Blossoms and multiple Ogres. I didn't like it. Anyway, I ended up taking those out, putting in more rockets, and as I filled in more rockets, my deck was functioning smoother and smoother and smoother till I get to the numbers that you see here. And that's trial and error is basically what it was to finalize this profile. It was a real pain in the butt. The next monster, which you can basically call, it's like people call Galaxy Soldier an honorary Cyber Dragon. I call Absolrata Dragon an honorary rocket monster, because if you have a rocket on the field, he specials himself, and then if he goes to the grave anyway, like Foolish Burial, Dragon Shrine, Dragon Ravine, just discarding it from your hand for anything, or just any way he goes to the grave, he starts as a rocket. He's basically supposed to be in a rocket deck and nowhere else, and he's just really good. I only played one of him in my Rocket Guard Dragons because I didn't have room for more. And then 2 Gateway Dragon, specialing level 4 from your hand is good, and if your opponent just has a Link monster, effect. Another one. Link. Go crazy. Yeah, he's really good. The last monster, Destrudo. To make level 7 synchros, or I need another dragon on the board, or another body on the board to make Link fodder, he's really good for that. Normally I would, when I take this to tournament, I plan on either taking this or my Sky Strikers to my locals. I don't know if I want to do Sky Strikers yet, because I just started playing the deck like last week, and I'm not comfortable to take it to a tournament yet. That profile, when I get the last of the cards I need, because I still need my Kagari, I need Shizuku's, I need a Hayate and a Kaina. And I also need Airspace Area Zeros and another field spell, which Mystic Mine, because I only have 1 Mystic Mine, I need another one. Yes, I'm don't like Mystic Mine. I hate Mystic Mine, but the card's good for what it is. It helps with that deck. Anyway, on to the next card. We have our spell cards. There's only 20 monsters. We have Quick Launch, Special Little Rocket from the deck, destroy it on the end phase. It's a quick play. Like, one of my favorite things is if I have Tracer on the field, activate Quick Launch, Chain Tracer, target Quick Launch, destroy the quick launch, summon a monster, and then Tracer, or then quick launch's monster will be summoned, so I'll have 3 monsters, and it's Shadow Clone Jutsu. Mm. The next one, we're going to the field spells. We got the Boot Sector Launch. Boot Sector Launch is an amazing card. It's basically, oh, I don't have rocket monsters but on the field, but I have them in my hand. Hold on, let me fix that problem. Because if your opponent controls more monsters than you can special from the graveyard up to the number of the difference, or you can just once per turn special 2 rockets from your hand, regardless whether you have monsters or not. But they have to be in defense position, and no, their effects are not negated. Boot Sector Launch will become an even better card once we get Striker Dragon from Chaos Impact. I'll do an updated deck profile whenever that card comes out. And then the final one, we play the 1 Dragon Ravine, because we do play the Dragoonity Knight Romulus in the extra deck to search it. Then Terraforming, because I actually want to see the field spell. The fusion spells, I play 2 of them, but I only play 1 fusion. Counterproductive, I know. Yeah, Rapid Trigger and Dragon's Mirror. I'm probably going to drop the Rapid Trigger for another Dragon's Mirror, because Dragon's Mirror is just all around better. I know Rapid Trigger destroys, and it's a quick play, but they can't attack directly, and that's what I don't like doing. I don't like not being able to attack directly. Yeah, Allure Darkness, 3, just draw cards. And actually, a neat little thing, if you get Lancia and you activate Allure, and you have the Dark Monster in your hand that you were supposed to banish, but you can't because of Lancia, you just reveal that you have the Dark Monster, and that you would be able to banish the card, and you don't lose your hand. It's just a little side note, don't let people get you with that. Called by the Grave, because hand traps really hurt the deck. Dragon Shrine, because dumping Absolouter and searching. Same with Foolish Burial. You dump Absolouter and search. Or if you've already got the Absolouter in the grave and you've searched, you use those 2 to send Destrudo, or whatever you need to the grave. And then the Monster Reborn, and World Legacy Succession for extenders. And those are the last 2 cards of the deck. Now, thinking about it, I don't think there's really anything that I would change in the deck. I was playing another monster in the deck. It was, oh, he's right here. I was playing Iron Dragon Timaton, because I kind of like it, because I used to play ABCs back in the day, and when he was a thing and I was playing ABCs, I would use him, because I was playing Brilliant ABCs, so I would have the Link monster, I usually underclock, point to a Buster, and I had the Brilliant Fusion still on the field over here. I would just special him under the other column, and my opponent couldn't use that extra monster zone, so they were basically, unless it's True Draco, it didn't matter. He's just really, you extra link without extra linking kind of thing, but if they can normal summon something over 2,000 and just punch him in the face, he's easily outed, but that makes them waste the battle phase and their normal summon to get something big enough to kill him. It forces your opponent to use resources, is what I'm getting at. The next card we're going to talk about is the extra deck. I'm not going to show a side deck because, like I said, my side deck is it's good for my locals, not necessarily yours. You got Borreload Furious Dragon. He's a quick effect. He's a quick effect Phantom Knight Xyz monster. Target a card you control and card your opponent controls and destroy them. He doesn't have to destroy them both. So, like, say if they think they're going to be funny, if I have him here, I target a Rokket, like Anastrocket or something, pop one of their cards, and they destroy the Anastrocket first. Well, joke's on them. Furious Dragon still destroys their monster. And if he's in the grave, you summon a Link 2 or lower from the graveyard by banishing him, and then that monster's effects are negated. Then the level 7 I play is Cyberse Quantum Dragon, because I'm geared to OTK. Most of the time when I summon this, I'll summon it here in the middle, because I'll have a Boral Sword pointing towards it. And when Boral Sword's on the field, I'll basically attack, clear out any problematic monster that would have been there, attack with Boral Sword, or attack again. Or no, I'll attack with Boral Sword the first time, attack with this, send the other monster to the hand, attack again for 25. There's 55 of their life points, just flip this into defense with Boral Sword and attack again. Like, it just helps OTK. And if you control a Link monster while it's on the field, Your opponent can't target your monsters with card effects until that link monster is dealt with, and they also can't target any monsters you control for attacks except this. Borreload Savage, because we're playing Rockets, and Savage is a good card. When he's Synchro Summoned, you equip a Link monster from the grave, he gains Borrel counters up to the Link rating and half of that monster's attack, and if you can negate the activation of anything, basically, at quick effect speed by removing a Borrel counter. And he's generic too, he's just a tuner and a non-tuner. Non-tuners. The only XZs we play. X-Charge Dragon for late game. I only made this thing 2 or 3 times when I was playtesting, but that was because I was in that oh shit moment, like I need my Borreload back. I would activate this, summon, get the Borreload back, take away their problematic monster, even though I wasn't able to kill them, and then Borreload would die, but I would still have their monster on the end phase. So it's really weird. Then the Link monsters I don't play any Link ones yet. When Striker Dragon comes out, I will be playing Link monsters. Booster Dragon. Booster Dragon, you can target one other face-up card on the field. It gains 500 attack and defense. It's basically a targeting effect to trigger off the rockets. When your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response, to basically make sure that your rockets go off. Camera focus, will you? You'll note this link summon cards destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard. Target one other dragon monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. You can only use each effect once per turn. Dragoonity Knight Romulus, because Searching Dragon Ravine is really good. Like, there's been times I open up Terraforming, but I need the Boot Sector launch, but I want to use the Dragon Ravine, so I'll just have this, make it midway through the combo, and search the Dragon Ravine, use it anyway. But if you've used Tracer, you can't use this. If you can't make this. If you've used Rocket Synchron's effect, you can't make this, because once you use either Tracer or Rocket Synchron, you're locked in the darks from the X-Dex for the rest of the turn. This is one of only 2 monsters. It's not a dark. Heretic Seal. Heavenly Spears, because interruptions. And if you tribute it, which you're probably you're going to do, you get to summon a monster from the... You can summon a rocket. It's really good. Quad Borrel, because targeting a Link monster... I think you can target Link monsters your opponent controls. Target one face-up monster on the field, yeah. So if your opponent has like a Link 2 or 3, and you have 3, or has like a Link 4, and you have... Or let's say they have a Borrel Sword Dragon, which... Borrel Sword can't be destroyed by battle, but it can be by card effect. Use Quad Borrel here to target it, and destroy it, and you summon 4 rockets from your graveyard, and you get to go nuts. Sorry if you hear the dogs barking. Then Triple Burst Dragon, because Triple Burst is good. I hardly ever made. I think I made it once, and it was because of the friend I was playing against I knew played Battle Traps, so I was trying to stop him from activating them. And then the Borrels, I play all 3 of them. The Borrel Guard. Targets a monster, puts it to defense, can't chain to that. It can't be destroyed by card effect. Borrel Load, because taking an opponent's monster is usually a good thing to do. Like, when it attacks a monster, it takes it, and then the effect it has that you can't chain to is make something lose 500 attack and defense. And then Borrel Sword, because I call Borrel Sword my OTK monster, because basically with Borrel Sword, you put something to defense and attack again. And I actually learned this. You can't, you don't, okay, if Borrel Sword targets something like a rocket, and the rocket blows itself up in response, like they're gonna have to do, it can still attack again. It doesn't have to turn to defense. It's not switch that monster to defense, and if you do, you switch that monster to defense. Also, this card can make it a second attack. You target one monster on the field, cost, switch to defense, this card can make a second attack. Or it's the way it's worded. Oh, defense position. Also, this card can make a second attack in the battle phase. So, targets a rocket, rocket blows up, gets rid of something, you can still attack again. Saryuja, because draw power, and then I play 2 Topologics. Play Bomber and Zero Boros. Zero Boros is hilarious because I had one of my friends was playing Sky Striker, and he had 2-set multi-roll. He had one counter, well, not a counter, but he was able to set one thing off the multi-roll, so on the end phase, after he summoned Shizuku, he did the Shizuku Shuffle, like he had a quick play, activate the quick play so you can set an extra card, so he set 2. Then when he did, still on his end phase, I flipped up a quick, I had this on the field in the extra monster zone, and I had a quick launch set. I activated the quick launch, I think I summoned Anastraka Dragon, or Shell Rocket, one of the ones that didn't matter that I got rid of, summoned it to where 0 Boros points, and when a monster is summoned to a zone 0 Boros points, and it's like this Topologic. The only Topologic I think it's not like that is Trespania, because I had to summon to work Trespania points. Anyway, 0 Boros, it's not an optional effect. If a monster is summoned to a zone of link points, 0 Boros banishes all cards on the field and then it resurrects itself on my standby phase. So he did that. I summoned back 0 Boros here, attacked him for 3k. I think I had another rocket or 2 on the field. And my opponent, basically, he wasn't able to get his resources back faster than I could kill him. And that's just the kind of the power that 0 Boros has. So, anyway, without making this a 25-minute video, it's already at 21. Anyway, the deck is fun. The deck is somewhat, it can be inconsistent at times. I didn't really run into that problem, but when I was dueling, but when I got home and I was doing test hands by myself playing solitaire, I ran that problem 2 or 3 times. The deck has a mood. Like, I always say my decks have a mood when they do something like that. Anyway, this is Liberty, signing out.